Guys, what a night it was last night. It was very emotional. I wanted the Giants to trade Odell Beckham for a long time. I understand. I understand what a lot of fans. I understand why people are upset that Odell's leaving because they watch on Sundays and they see a player that is a talent that's going to be a Hall of Famer. That Odell Beckham's fast. He can go up and make incredible plays on the football. He's such a talent. And for Odell Beckham, I am happy for him that he gets to play with his best friend. Like, I think that that's a great story. I don't wish evil on other people. I hope that the Giants win the trade. I kind of have pride in what Dave Gettlemen is doing. But at the same time, like if I interviewed Odell Beckham, I would try to tell him the concerns that I had with him as a Giant. And the concerns that I had with him, I thought doing the interview last year was pretty unprecedented with Josina Anderson. I would tell him that you said in an interview that you wanted the Giants to air out the football, but you did not say that to Eli Manning. You did not say that to the head coach. You left the halftime. You left the game sometimes, but you walked out on the team before the half last year with your calf injuries. Why did you not wait to walk into the team together? Your body language in New York, you clearly were not happy in New York. You did not want to see the team. Maybe you did want to see the team get better, but at the same time, your body language was very, very negative. And you had the issues with Josh Norman. And you committed so many penalties. You should have gotten tossed from that game with the Panthers. And you were just jawing at him the entire time, and you were not connecting with Eli Manning. You were not connecting with Tom Coughlin. So and you basically said last year that you wanted to move, to LA, and you wanted to get the stats, and you saw, other wide receivers that were playing with quarterbacks that can throw the ball deeper and that can make plays. But, for the New York Giants are not an organization to serve Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham is a part of a team. And I felt that Odell Beckham was honestly more about himself than a part of the team. And that is why the Giants traded him, because with other teams and other organizations, when there's a player this talented, it's rare that they would go out and you have the kicking net issues. You had, the fumble in Carolina this year. Just the body language on the sideline is constantly negative from Odell Beckham. He just looked miserable as a New York Giant. And Odell Beckham's a loud character in our locker room, and there is no proof that the New York Giants teammates actually liked Odell Beckham. And the teammates that didn't like Odell Beckham would never tell you publicly. So on social media, you might think that the Giants teammates like him, but I think that Dave Gettleman and Pat Shurmur understand the dynamic of the team. And I trust their opinion with this, not the outsiders. I trust the people in our building that they understand the chemistry. It's not all about talent. It's about working together as a team. It's about finding the right mix of personalities that can help us achieve our potential, that can work together. And Eli's going to be here for 1 or 2 more seasons. And yes, Eli Manning is not fast anymore. His arm strength is very questionable. He has not been performing all that well. I do believe, though, that without Odell Beckham, Eli will now look to other receivers, that this offense will actually work together a lot better. Saquon Barkley, this team will start to gel, and Odell Beckham, I think, is actually a headache, and he takes away from the team. I really do believe that. And I would say that to Odell, that I think you take away from the team, that I think that you're about getting stats, about trying to be a Hall of Famer. That doesn't make you a terrible guy, that you want to get stats, that you want to get touchdowns, that you want to make individual plays. I think everybody wants things for themselves. I just think that it was a problem for the New York Giants. The New York Giants, the last couple of seasons, the New York Giants have lost to the Philadelphia Eagles. I think that the New York Giants are maybe 1-5 versus the Philadelphia Eagles in the past 3 years. I think we're probably 1-5 versus the Dallas Cowboys. If memory serves me correct, I believe that is exactly what the Giants are versus the Dallas Cowboys, is 1-5. The New York Giants, I don't think they've won a playoff game. I don't think they've won a playoff game since the Super Bowl in 2012. And Coughlin was gone. McAdoo was gone. The Giants have been failing for a very, very long time. And Odell Beckham's been on this team for his whole career, and the New York Giants haven't won anything, and he's been the best player on the football team for a long time. And his leadership wasn't winning any games. And I guess fans are going to miss Odell Beckham. He was very generous with kids. He was off the field, like in terms of how he interacted with fans, he was very positive with a lot of Giants fans. In the locker room dynamic, though, I believe that the Giants made the right decision. And what I want is this. I believe that the Cleveland Browns for 1 year could potentially get it right. And next year you might potentially see a playoff team, a division champion. You might. But for the long run, the Cleveland Browns have a lot of talent on their organization. And on paper, Kareem Hunt is an unbelievable back. David Njoku's so fast. Jarvis Landry makes big-time catches. Baker Mayfield is really brilliant at being a leader. And he's proven everybody wrong, and he's been successful at every stop. And, on paper, the Cleveland Browns should absolutely, year in and year out, be the team, be at the top of the NFL. But I just think you're putting way too many personalities together. I don't think that the locker room is going to work well together with Fred Kitchens and with Baker, Jarvis, and I don't think the offense is going to work well with those personalities. I don't think it's a talent thing. I think that the personalities, there's too many egos in the room that I don't think it's going to work. So this move for the New York Giants, I know that the New York Giants, got back Jabril Peppers, and Jabril Peppers is kind of a tweener. He's a decent player. But I think this move was needed for the New York Giants to have new leadership in the locker room. And I think that Odell Beckham was a problem for the Giants in terms of their production, because I think that he took away from the team. And he didn't work well, and that he was selfish. And I think Shermer and Gettlemen saw that on a day-to-day basis. And I called when Odell signed with the New York Giants, I called this deal hypocritical. And I've been consistent on that Odell Beckham's been a problem for the New York Giants, and I've gotten my wish, and he's gone in terms of leaving the football team. I just said that Odell Beckham, that he's going to Cleveland, and he's going to probably be happy, and don't wish ill on him. I wish him well in his endeavors with the Cleveland Browns. I do want the Giants to be great. I want Dave Gettleman to win a Super Bowl, and all the hate that Dave is getting, all the Fs by the mainstream, by everybody. I'd say that a very few minority of Giants fans believe that Dave Gettleman is a great general manager. A very few minority of Giants fans think the Giants are going to go to a Super Bowl, and if the Giants go to a Super Bowl, they will just give credit to the players that the Giants select, whether that be Kyler Murray, whether that be the defensive talent that's added in the draft, whether that be Saquon Barkley. And Odell Beckham might still put up stats in Cleveland, so people will say, well, Odell Beckham is still a Hall of Fame receiver, and it's because, and if Odell was on the Giants, they still would have won a championship. So if the Giants win a Super Bowl, I don't think anybody is going to give Dave Gettleman credit. They won't give this opinion any credit that this was in fact a good move. If the Giants bottom out, if the Giants are terrible for a very, very long time, in 3 years, if the Giants are not very good, we can point to Gettleman's failures, but I believe that this was the right decision for the New York Giants. I really do, in terms of the locker room. And there's a chance that Gettleman still messes it up. I mean, the guys that he drafted in Carolina, not all of them were successful. Benjamin wasn't successful, he left. Funchess was not successful, he left. So there is a chance that Gettleman still messes up. There's absolutely a chance that the Giants can remain poor, that they can just sign older players and just be bad for a very, very long time. I don't want the Giants to take Haskins. Personally, it's Murray, Daniel Jones, or nobody. Not even Drew Lock, I don't even think. But maybe if they go with Drew Lock, I still wouldn't want Drew Lock. I still want like a Devin White, a Brian Burns at the 6th pick, and then I'll take Daniel Jones at 17. I will take that deal. If the Giants want to send a package to Arizona for Kyler, I'll also think that that's a good decision. So I'll tell you guys the path that the New York Giants are going on, and if they're going to be a good team in my eyes or not. I'm not just going to, a lot of people, when players sign, you don't want to be, a lot of people don't want to, ever be offensive to a football player. They want to blame management and blame the older guys in the room. So I understand why people, don't want to say that getting rid of Odell was a good thing, because you don't want to offend Odell Beckham, you don't want to offend the player, and you don't want to offend the people that really loved Odell Beckham and all of the adults and all of the kids that have his jersey and that were proud of Odell Beckham for his play and for, in the community. Odell Beckham was a very nice guy in the community by a lot of accounts. But I do believe that he was a distraction. And Dave Gettleman said that he wants guys. He says there are players that play professional football, meaning Odell Beckham, and there are professional football players. And that could be an Eli, a Saquon Barkley, an Antoine Bethea, Lorenzo Carter, Dalvin Tomlinson. So there are guys that Dave Gettleman loves. And I trust Dave Gettleman's judgment. He's done this a long time. He was going to make the difficult decisions. And I couldn't have more Giants pride today, because, the Giants fans that are still on board, especially today, we're the last survivors. And I don't think it's personally not enjoyable to be a fan of a bandwagon team. Like, even Cleveland Browns, I think it was more fun to support Cleveland last year when Baker was winning. Now with the Browns, they're such a bandwagon team that everybody and their parents is jumping over to support the Cleveland Browns and get Beckham and Baker stuff. But it's so much fun to be a Giants fan and to be doubted. Being a Giants fan in Philadelphia, this is exactly what drew me to the New York Giants, is really being alone on the island, really being the minority in terms of being a fan. It's exactly the essence of why I love Giants football, is, going to the link with my friends that are all Eagles fans, seeing them celebrate the Philadelphia Eagles, seeing them poke fun at the New York Giants, that just burns a fire in me. And blazing your own trail is so exciting. And for Dave Gettleman, for the us against the world mentality that we now have, it's absolutely a beautiful thing. To go out and shock the world and win a championship while the whole world is laughing at us, giving us Fs, saying that why would you get rid of an incredible football player, that Dave Gettleman's the worst general manager in history, that this move's one of the worst moves in all of history. That motivates me. And hopefully will motivate the New York Giants players. And I couldn't have more Giants pride today. I couldn't be more proud of John Mara, because Most owners with Odell Beckham bringing in that kind of money, that kind of revenue, and that fan support, they would just see dollar signs. But John Mara is about more. He's about winning. He's about the locker room. And I'm so proud of John Mara and Dave Gettlemen. A lot of Giants are wait and see. They're like, we better get these picks correct. We better get these things correct. If the Giants end up winning a Super Bowl, if the Giants end up even making the playoffs this year, I just want Dave Gettlemen to receive the credit for Saquon Barkley, for all of them, for passing on the quarterback. I just want Dave Gettlemen to receive credit. That's all I ask. All I really ask of people right now is that when the Giants are good, because I really do I believe in Dave Gettlemen, and I believe that this team will be good. They're doing exactly what I said they should be doing. And it's not about me, it's about Dave Gettlemen. My one wish is that the New York Giants fans credit Dave Gettlemen. I want them, even if they were upset and they disagreed with Dave Gettlemen, when the Giants are great, I want them to swallow up their own pride and admit that Dave Gettlemen was correct. That is my one wish. You can berate on this channel at all you want. You can unsubscribe from me all you want. All I want you to do is to try to swallow your pride. Try to do this. Try to swallow your pride. It's my one wish if the Giants win a Super Bowl within the next few years. Swallow your pride and please say thank you to Dave Gettlemen. That's all I ask. Or say Dave Gettlemen was completely correct with all these moves. Be thankful. That's all I want you to do in the next few years. And if the Giants suck and Dave Gettlemen is wrong, I will come on here like Davis Webb, like the LA Rams making the Super Bowl. I admitted that I was wrong about the free agent team that the LA Rams had. And I thought that the chemistry of Talib and Marcus Peters would not be effective, but it was incredibly effective for the LA Rams. I thought Jared Goff was not a good quarterback. I thought that Davis Webb and even Luis Perez were better than Goff. I didn't think Goff was a good quarterback, and I admit that I am wrong. Right now I am very, very wrong on Jared Goff. Maybe Jared Goff won't be that great, but I am definitely wrong on that opinion. I get things wrong. I didn't think the Rams would be any good this year. I also get some opinions correct. It's part of being in the opinion business. And I couldn't be any happier. I couldn't feel any better. The Davis Webb opinion was absolutely wrong. And listen, this is an opinion that pretty much is a minority unpopular opinion. And I freaking love it. Because if the opinion is right, then the majority of people were wrong and the minority were absolutely right. And I think that that's damn inspiring, if you ask me. It's damn inspiring to have the whole world laughing at you, to have everybody poking fun at you, and to be on this train, to be on the Gettlemen train. Being on the Gettlemen train today is a lot more rewarding than if the Giants win a Super Bowl, then everybody's going to be on the Gettlemen train. It's being a fan of a band when they're playing at your local bar, not when you're going to the football stadium or not when you're going to Madison Square Garden to see them. It's a lot more prideful being a fan of Bruce Springsteen when he was in Central Jersey and he was playing in Homedale, New Jersey. It was a lot more prideful when Bruce Springsteen was playing in a neighborhood bar, when he was playing in your neighborhood pub, than to see Bruce Springsteen at Madison Square Garden and to hear just people that would laugh at Bruce Springsteen at the local bar now rocking his gear. It's a lot more fun to be where we are right now. And when it's all said and done, we win the championships and everything, it'll be incredibly rewarding. But a lot of people will not be accountable for what they say today. A lot of people will not be accountable for the mean things that they say about Dave Gettlemen. A lot of people will rush to judgment, and when they win, they'll just reap the benefits, and they won't take a look in the mirror and assess what they have said about Dave Gettlemen. That's just the facts. A lot of people are just not going to be held accountable. That's just the facts, and they won't come into the camera and admit that they were wrong about the decision of Odell Beckham. I'll admit I'll tell it how it is, and the truth will come out about the New York Giants. And Cleveland, for that matter. It will unfold in the next few years. But this is an incredible start. Dave Gettlemen says the culture is everything. And Odell Beckham was more important than the culture. He felt entitled. He felt he could do the interviews. He felt that he needed to be the leader when he really just needed to play. He needed to just play football with his teammates. He just needed to be there for his teammates. Kind of like a Saquon Barkley leader is exactly what I believe the Giants need. So I'm sure I'll be talking about this for years. I'm sure I'll be talking about this just about every single day. For the people that disagree with my opinion on the video, I totally understand that Odell Beckham is a great talent, and on the surface it seems like the Giants got boat raced in the trade. So I totally understand. If you don't want to watch my videos or anything, I totally get it. Totally understand. All the jokes about me being on meth and out of my mind, and guys like Odell bullied you in high school, and getting a lot of likes. I understand it. You're getting a lot of likes, and you like Odell Beckham, and you hate the video. I think it's fun being hated. All the jokes, they're just jokes, and all the stuff about me being dumb or whatever it's just insulting my intelligence, which I really don't mind. I really don't mind that. Well, I say I don't mind that. Right now, I believe that I don't mind that. I find it funny, and other people enjoy those types of comments anyway. So, I just want you, again, the one thing is, when the Giants become good, I just want you to thank Dave Gettlemen. Don't go around, and that's all. Because Dave Gettlemen took a major risk for this franchise, and he laid it out all on the line. And doing something brave and courageous really is doing something that the majority of people criticize you for. And this move right here today is the definition of brave and courageous. With what Gettlemen, now people might think it's stupidity, and they might just think it's, people just might think it's just a stupidity. And it's, and the majority of people, about 90%, a crazy amount of people just think that this is horrid. And the reason the decision was made is for chemistry. It's all for the locker room. It's all for the culture. It's all for getting along with each other. And Odell Beckham didn't get along with Shermer and our teammates and the New York Giants. He did not get along. He did not fit the Giant way. He was not a New York Giant. He played for the New York Giants, but he's not going to be remembered for a Giant. He's going to be remembered for being a Brown. It's just the facts. That's why the guy was moved. Because he did not fit in. Or Odell Beckham he just didn't get along with his teammates. Odell Beckham was a guy in the locker room that literally alienated people and alienated the coaches and alienated teammates. And they won't admit that publicly because that's not classy to Odell Beckham, and it's not classy in general. If you don't get along with somebody, you don't air it publicly. You might air it to your coworkers, and the person might end up being fired, and then the one person will say to the coworker that's fired, "You're fired." But then you won't hear all the other coworkers. The other coworkers will shake their hand and wish them well. And they'll go out to dinner like Eli, Saquon, and Sterling Shepard could all be at dinner right now, giving a toast and shaking each other's hand and saying, I'm glad Odell's gone. But on social media, Sterling will say, "I miss Odell Beckham," because the Odell Beckham fans are still Giants fans. So you'll never hear, it's not classy to ever trash somebody that you don't like publicly. It's not a classy. It's not. Taking the high road is actually being quiet. Taking the high road is wishing them well, and that's exactly what a lot of Giants are doing. So you won't know the truth. And you probably never will, and neither will I. I'll never know the truth. We can only speculate. I don't know Odell Beckham. I've never met Odell Beckham. I'm just speculating, just based on the interviews, based on what I see on Sunday, and training camp and everything that's public, based on the leaks that are made, based on following the football team. That's all we can do. That's all we can do is speculate. That's all the majority of fans can do. And if people ever get access to the team, they can't be as transparent. Like if Odell Beckham was a hindrance, Max Duggan and Matt Lombardo and Jordan Rannon and the people, they can't trash Odell Beckham either. So you'll never find out pretty much. Pretty much that's the way it goes. Unless you know them personally, you can only project. So that's life. That is life, my friends. And just give Dave credit if it works out. And if it doesn't, he'll end up getting fired. But he tried his best. And he lived by his rules. And he went down fighting with the guys that he wanted. Because Odell Beckham alienated his rules of being a professional football player. He did not fit in the Gettlemen's way of the culture. He was all about flash, about touchdown dances, and about doing the interviews. And Odell trashed Eli. I don't think Eli likes Odell Beckham. And you could say Odell carried Eli, and sure, Odell Beckham took slant routes to the house from Eli Manning, and Eli is old and deteriorating. Eli Manning was better in 11 and 07. We'll see how he is this year right now. Finally with Pat Shurmur, a pro-style offense, a very good running back, good linemen, good receivers. If, say, DK Metcalf comes in and is successful, then the people that bash Eli Manning will give credit to Saquon and say Saquon carried Eli or DK Metcalf carried Eli. And the Eli and the Gettlemen supporters, they probably still won't get the full credit that they deserve because you'll just always give credit to other entities. The people, they'll just always spin things and keep spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. And they'll never just sit back, look in the mirror, and admit if they were incorrect on something. I've just told you I was incorrect on the Rams and Jared Goff. I just told you I was incorrect on Davis Webb being a Hall of Fame, being an incredible football player. I've just told you that I've been incorrect. I'm incorrect on a lot of things, maybe even the majority of things. And I just hope people are honest with how things shake out for Dave Gettleman and for the New York Giants.